Hey everyone, this is Rachel Graham. Today I wanted to talk about where I'm at. So it's been officially 11 days. Sorry, my doggy is here, so she might be interrupting me a little bit. It's been officially 11 days since I've been strict keto, drinking exogenous ketones coupled with the ketogenic diet. I'm 17 weeks and 3 days pregnant today. So just wanted to kind of go over some initial sort of why would you even be drinking ketones and doing the ketogenic diet when you're pregnant, and sort of discuss some different common beliefs about that. So a lot of people, when they think about the ketogenic diet, they think about fat loss. And that's definitely a reason why I got into doing the ketogenic diet 2 years prior when I first started it. But obviously being pregnant now, fat loss is not my goal. So why would I be doing it? You might be asking yourself. Well, there's a lot of other reasons. So number one is energy levels. Like the ketogenic diet and exogenous ketones coupled together. And why would I be doing those things together? We'll get to that. But the levels of energy, sustained energy that I have is through the roof. Like I said, I'm 17 weeks and 3 days pregnant. So although I'm in my second trimester, I don't have any fatigue at all. I feel amazing. I feel much better than I did even prior to pregnancy. So mood boosting, that's another huge advantage of the ketogenic diet and using exogenous ketones. And when I'm speaking about this, I'm speaking about them coupled together. The ketogenic diet on its own provides all of these benefits. But the reason why you would want to drink an exogenous ketone, like this product right here, so this is Keto OS NAT. It is a bioavailable ketone salt. It is exactly like or the closest to what your body creates endogenously inside the body. So why would I drink this? Why wouldn't I just do the ketogenic diet? Have you ever attempted the ketogenic diet? You need to eat less than 50 grams of carbohydrates per day. That is a very challenging thing to do long term for the average person. If you are in quarantine for the rest of your life and you have time to sit at home and create all of your meals and look at the macros of everything every single day, then you're going to have no problem doing it. But for those of us that do have to work and have families, and this quarantine is not going to last forever, and we're not going to have that luxury, this product is extremely beneficial. So this allows me to eat up to like 100 grams of carbohydrates and still maintain the same benefits of a strictly ketogenic diet. So still get all those same benefits. This product can even help people that aren't on the ketogenic diet, which is pretty cool. If you're a vegan or a vegetarian, you can still use this product and it'll elevate ketone levels in your blood and it'll give you a lot of these benefits. I couple it with the ketogenic diet because it'll optimize my results, and that's what I really want. The whole goal is human optimization and biohacking, right? Finding if there's a product that exists that will increase the levels of ketone bodies in my blood and allow me to fast track being in a state of ketosis and keep me there, even if I eat a little bit more than or a lot more than what is standard in a ketogenic diet, then I'm all for it. It's a supplement that's going to help you maintain this lifestyle long term, and that's the goal. The goal isn't to do the ketogenic diet for a couple of months, lose some weight, and then go back to how you used to eat. That isn't how it works. You'll just gain the weight back, and you'll go right back to feeling like how you were. So some other reasons why I'm drinking this, and I do have some notes that I'm referring to. So sustained energy with no crash. A lot of us, you get to 2 p.m., 3 p.m. and you start to feel tired. You want that second cup of coffee or fifth cup of coffee if that's your jam, if you're really on the caffeine train. Drinking this, I have a cup of coffee in the morning, and this is a decaf nat. I don't need anything at any point during the day. If anything, I'm going strong until I go to bed. And that's one of the things that this helps with, which seems kind of bizarre, is good sleep. So I've struggled with sleep issues for a very long time. I remember being a little kid and I'd go to sleepovers at friends' houses and I'd have so much anxiety because I couldn't fall asleep. And I remember there was one particular incident. I was in 6th grade and I had to call my mom and be like, or my dad, I can't remember who answered, but I need you to come and pick me up because I can't fall asleep and I'm so anxious. And that happened to me all the time. I couldn't be away from home. And even when I was at home, it would still take me an hour sometimes to fall asleep. My mind just didn't turn off. So this product has really helped me with sleep, being able to fall asleep and stay asleep. The next thing, one of the biggest things is, and this is important for me, even though I'm not trying to lose weight right now, being pregnant, is reduce cravings for empty, like calorically empty foods or nutritionally void foods. I'm not craving chips. I'm not craving, French fries. I'm not craving those things. If I smell someone that has some chips, not chips, like French fries, and out in a restaurant, that's not a factor right now, but if I were to smell that, then obviously it would smell good. I'm not saying that you will have zero cravings, like you're just going to be like turned off from any of that stuff, but you don't have that insatiable need to have it. That's at least my personal experience with it. So that is crazy powerful. Like that is what has enabled me to stay on this ketogenic diet in the past. And it's interesting to see the differences between being on the ketogenic diet and drinking ketones as like a regular person, and then now doing it as a pregnant person. In the second trimester, your appetite is supposed to super ramp up. The first trimester is usually pretty hit and miss. A lot of people can't really eat that much, or they don't want like things that are healthy for them, and that was the case for me. I was super hungry and wanted to eat, but nothing was appetizing, and I just ate pure carbohydrate. I felt super run down, super sluggish, super bloated, depressed, anxious, all of it. And how much of that is pregnancy hormones is probably a lot, but I have no other experience to compare it to. So coming into the second trimester, my goal was to feel as good as humanly possible in terms of energy levels, get the best sleep I possibly can, and really, dial into all of those aspects of things I can control being pregnant. The next thing is mental sharpness. So everything's just on point. Like when you're on the ketogenic diet and doing this lifestyle, it's just like you access a different level of like mental acuity. It's really crazy, and it's hard to describe until you actually get to that state. I've been in this now for 11 days, so I'm in it. I feel like without having one cheat and going over my carbohydrates. And I'm not counting carbohydrates either. That's the other thing. Like when you initially launch on the ketogenic diet, you have to really count your macros, proteins, fat, and carbohydrates. And you can use a carb counter. Like Carb Manager is a great free app that helps you see, especially when you're getting started, exactly how much of each category are you really eating. And what a lot of people struggle with at first with doing the ketogenic diet is having to really bump up those fats. The carbohydrate is obviously a given. It's hard to reduce the amount of pasta, rice, crackers, all those processed foods that you're probably used to eating. But what I notice is it seems to be more difficult for people is wrapping their brain around the fact that you have to eat that much more fat. And I'm not talking about just bacon. I do eat bacon, that's for sure. But you don't want to eat an excessive amount of bacon. You want to focus on healthy fats like avocados. Like literally eating one whole avocado a day is awesome. Olives, coconut oil, grass-fed butter. I don't eat a huge amount of dairy, and that's something that I think that is ideal. You don't want to be eating like yogurt and cheese like at every single meal. You want to keep that moderate. So when we say healthy fats, that's referring to healthy fats, not just full fat dairy and bacon and things like that. So reduced anxiety, that's something I had mentioned. My anxiety was through the roof. And let's not talk about just the first trimester, because with the hormones and things that happen, I don't want to say that I'm sure about how I felt then versus now as a result of just the ketogenic diet, because I know that isn't true, because there's so many things that are going on as a result of the pregnancy hormonally that could contribute to that. So let's look at prior. Let's look at, September to October of last year, September to December when I was not pregnant. My anxiety has been through the roof. And granted, I have had a lot of stressful life things, just like being in school, working 2 jobs, family scenario was a little interesting. There's some other, factors going on. But I usually have a pretty good handle on my generalized anxiety that I've just grown accustomed to living with. But when I'm on the ketogenic diet, my anxiety is not there. Okay. I had to get prescribed a medication actually last year because my anxiety was so high. Last spring, I went and got Xanax. And with the ketogenic diet, I don't need to take Xanax. I can't take Xanax now that I'm pregnant. So there's another good reason for doing it during pregnancy. If you're, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing you by no means, I'm not a professional, but for me personally, this has replaced Xanax, which is pretty intense. And just another factor that's super interesting is in doing the ketogenic lifestyle, you're really focused and more conscientious about what you're eating. And not in a way that's disordered. Like, I'm not counting things. I'm not like obsessively measuring. I'm not writing a food log, which I definitely recommend actually if you've never done this before, just to kind of see where you're at. But it's not a requirement to do this successfully. You don't need to constantly be logging and tracking. You're not counting calories. You're not worried about portions. These are things that at first it's good to track if you're coming off of a regular standard American diet, if you've been eating excessive amounts, just to see where you're at. But eventually, once you get fat adapted and your body's burning fat for fuel, you're not going to need to do that. Last night is the perfect example of this. So we made meatballs with a homemade mushroom gravy, and I had them over miracle noodles. And that's like a shirataki noodle. It's really, really good. And I had 3 meatballs and probably about half a cup of this mushroom gravy that we made from scratch. And then half a package of the miracle noodles. I didn't want any more. It was a very small portion. My past self would have eaten 2 portions of that just because it tasted good, not because I was full, right? Or I wasn't full. So my problem has always been, oh my God, it tastes so good. It tastes so good. It tastes so good. I just want to eat it and eat it and eat it because it's so good. But with the ketogenic diet, you are more intuitively eating. You want to eat when you get hungry and then stop eating when you're satiated. And that's not a mental game. That literally is like your body is satisfied with eating higher fat. It's a slower burning fuel. It's super fascinating, you guys, but it's real. Like, you can experience it. In only 11 days, I've completely done a 180 on what I was eating, the amounts of food I was eating, the types of food. It's really fun to cook keto meals and to say, hey, I really feel like a chocolate chip cookie. Well, I'm not going to be able to have a chocolate chip cookie, so I'm going to make the keto version of that. And you can do that, and it's super cool. Again, you don't want to be eating a ton of keto baked goods. That's something that, like, don't go overboard with that, but you can do it. You can have a keto chocolate chip cookie and still maintain this lifestyle. Another thing I've really noticed being keto and pregnant is that I have been eating so much more vegetables. And I think that's really because when you take out the carbohydrates, you really need to fill out your plate, right? You're not just going to have your portion of meat, your protein source, eggs, whatever you choose to have, and like you wouldn't normally have a baked potato or mashed potatoes or rice or quinoa or pasta or whatever. So you end up filling that void with steamed broccoli, asparagus, like whatever. It's really fascinating to see how my vegetable consumption has gone way up. So that's just a recap on 11 days keto and drinking exogenous ketones and being 17 weeks and 3 days pregnant. I'm going to now mix up my ketones. So I've cut the top off of this little packet. Here I have my water that has ice in it. All I do is add this to the top. Okay. Pop the lid on. Make sure it's properly sealed. Nothing worse than shaking that up and having water fly out, or ketones fly out. Give it a good shake. It's like music to my ears, you guys. It's so good. I love it. And you really want to give it an aggressive shake. Okay. This is raspberry lemonade. It's one of my favorite flavors. And this is how you get into ketosis in 60 minutes or less. So good. Like, the flavor is delicious. It's just a great beverage. I would suggest drinking this within 20 minutes. Don't mix it up and then take like 3 hours to drink it. It's going to become diluted. You know, you want to get the maximum potency of the product, get it into your blood as fast as possible. So 20 minutes is what I aim to drink this in. And then I'm going to drink 3 full blender bottles of water today. That's a really important aspect of doing this, is you want to make sure you're drinking enough water. So that's half your weight in ounces of water every day. So I aim for 3 of these, which is a little bit more than I actually need, because then if I fall short, then I'm fine, right? I would also recommend taking an electrolyte supplement. I'm actually going to grab one and show you guys that right now. I've still got my pajama bottoms on, as you can see. Okay, so this is Trace Minerals Electrolyte Stamina. This one was recommended to me when I first started taking ketones. And I'm going to take 2 of these. Okay, and that's that. So that's how you mix up ketones. That's my little update on how I'm doing. If you're interested in trying the ketogenic diet and trying exogenous ketones to help supplement and make this a lifestyle for you, then please reach out to me. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Like this video. I really appreciate it, you guys. You can email me at rachelgrahamwellness@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram, RCHLGRHM forever. And links will be below for all of these ways to contact me. If you're interested in learning more about the ketogenic diet and drinking exogenous ketones and you're not pregnant, that's totally cool. I have you covered because I've also done that as well. So I can lend my experience and help coach you through that process. That's all I have for you today. Enjoy your Wednesday. Talk to you guys soon.